Hi everyone, today on Candid with Krushmi, I have Hensila Kava. She's a Latin dancer, a passionate belly dancer, and is the founder of a company called Henk Innovative Communication. It's a branding and marketing company, so thank you for taking time out today for this episode.
Thank you so much, Krushmi, for having me here. I know a lot of people have been asking about the weight loss. Congratulations.
Thank you.
This platform basically will let me tell the journey, the story, and a lot of people will get their answers also to your questions.
So, you've had a transformation, you were very fit. Then, there was this phase. What happened in that phase? I'd like you to share it with people. And then our journey and how did you get back into being fit and healthy again? So, let's hear it from you.
So obviously I was a very fit person, and that transition from fit to being overweight didn't happen overnight. It was a transition of over 3 to 4 years, I would say. It started with a small binge phase, eating and drinking and a lot of other things. Started with a small binge phase and then went to a week of binging, a month of binging, 6 months, and turned into a year. And I think somewhere it started becoming a part of the lifestyle. So, and over that course of time, I wasn't even realizing that I was putting on so much weight. It was just a due course of time. There was this one time we wanted to shoot a dance video, and that is the time I actually realized how much I had put on weight. So we had to do very simple steps. It was a very short video, but I had to put in so much effort to do even the basic movements. My clothes weren't fitting me. I was not able to find the right amount of clothes, the right type of clothes. I wasn't happy with the way I was looking. So that was one time. And after that, the lockdown commenced. So it just got worse after that. The dancing also stopped, the workout stopped, whatever fitness, physical activity I had, all of that stopped. And all I was doing was working on my laptop throughout the day and eating side by side, not even monitoring what I was eating, how many times I was eating. So that is the time when the actual expansion of the body, I must say, happened. So during the lockdown, my brother's birthday was there, and we had that entire cake cutting, traditional, whatever we do, clicking photos. And one of the photos which I saw after the cake cutting, of course, I saw Krushmi. It's not even funny. That was the point of realization where I looked double my imaginated size. And I was 68 kgs. My average weight is around 50 to 55 kgs. Like, that is something I had always maintained. And here I was 68 kgs, and someone with my height, that looks a lot.
And you dance, so that the kind of fitness, or you're doing videos and people look at you and look up to you for a certain way of how you look and how you're going to present yourself. So that does make a big difference.
So that was also mentally affecting me to a very large extent. I was not feeling confident about wearing good clothes. I like to be very well dressed, but that wasn't happening. So that is the time it really hit me, and so I started working out. And to be honest, I lost around 2-3 kgs immediately. In the next, I think 1 month only, I just pulled out 2-3 kgs. And after that, it was I reached a saturation point where nothing was happening. I was working out endlessly. I was doing a lot of physical activities. I was doing whatever I can, but it kind of came to a standstill. And so Vineet was someone who recommended me. He gave me that little push. You always have that support system around you. So he gave me that little push, and I know he's been working with you since a very long time, so he had a lot of trust in you. So he pushed me a little. He said, like, this is something you need to work on. You've done whatever it takes. So I think you should go to Krushmi. I'm like, okay. And to be honest, I had partially given up in my head. I was totally contemplating to do an entire wardrobe change, get some bigger clothes, and I was totally ready for that. But I'm glad I came here. I took that step, and through the last, I think, 1 year journey we had, I can very, very, very proudly say that I went from looking like that to looking like this. So thank you so much, Krushmi.
Pleasure. First of all, I think had you not believed in us and given me that chance to help you, I think that's a big stepping stone for any nutritionist to work with a client. And I think because Vineet believed in me, and he said, why don't you try it? And we tried it out, and then there are so many things that you understood through this process, not just the weight loss part of it.
Yes.
I think, thank you for believing in us, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to help you.
Thanks, Krushmi. Honestly, you'll be a very important part of my life. So, throughout the journey, I've learned a lot of things from you. And also, a lot of other people have been asking me questions. So, I'm going to take this opportunity, I'm going to take this chance and ask a few questions which other people also might have in their minds.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So, first question. Taking from my story only, I know a lot of professional athletes and all come to you. They have a lot of knowledge about nutrition when they come, so they trust the process. But someone like me, who doesn't have a lot of trust in the process in the beginning, and are probably have partially given up in their heads.
Yeah.
And when they come to you, what is your approach like? And I know throughout the journey you just not provided the nutrition support, you also supported me additionally mental support, you can say.
Yeah.
So how do you approach it?
So the first thing, I think this question is one of the most common questions that friends ask me, family members ask me, because they don't know, they know me as Krushmi, not as the nutritionist. So I think people have this myth that when you're going to a nutritionist, you have to follow something specific, which means if right now the trending thing is being vegan, oh, will I have to be vegan? If the trending thing is intermittent fasting, will I have to intermittent fast because I don't know if I can do it? I think there's a lot of preconceived notion when it comes to meeting a nutritionist. One of the most important things I learned as an athlete and now as a nutritionist is I have to give you something which you can follow. Now you have sitting hours because when you're working on your branding, etc., then you have your dancing. You can have late nights because of that. You can have late nights because of your work. And I think a lot of people don't understand that unless they can follow something on a regular basis, we won't get any results. So your exercise helped you get those first 2-3 kgs, but not anymore because you couldn't be consistent with a certain thing in food habits. So my first approach with anybody who comes in is to understand what their requirements are, not just fitness or health wise, but daily routine, what they like and not. I mean, if I'm a vegetarian, I can't push it onto you that you have to not eat meat either. So fitting into where you come from, how you're going to be able to provide that food for yourself through the week, making it easier for you and consistent. I think these are the two key points as a nutritionist that I look at to encourage people. And the first month, we also do something called body composition testing. And when you see those numbers and you see the fat go down, I think that also encourages people to say, okay, no, it's actually happening. Because visually, when you learn a language, if you are in your 10th grade, you can speak very well. When you're in your first or second grade, you still know how to speak English, but not as fluently. It's very hard to differentiate, but when you have those numbers and say, okay, the fat is going down consistently, it helps you push more. So I think these are the two key points that I work with when I see someone.
True. So, and I think also the initial phase where you actually start getting those small results. So I think we started with a very small goal and gradually I also started feeling more confident throughout the process, and I was like, yeah, let's just go whole hog. So coming from that, your answer, one more question. So people ask me, how did you lose weight? And I say one word, nutrition, because that is something which actually was a game changer for me. So I say nutrition, and the first reaction I get was, I can't stop eating whenever I can't do this diet thing is not for me, I can't give up my favorite food. But to be honest, I've never really given up my favorite food. I was always eating what I like. I was not even that hungry throughout the time. I was happily eating, but you always kept saying something in terms of moderation, moderate your diet.
Yeah.
That is something you kept talking about. So do you want to tell people?
Yes. So I think one of the key points as anybody working for weight loss or a transformation is moderating what you eat. I think huge myth. So questions that I get asked, will I have to stop eating desserts? Can I eat fried food? Can I eat outside? I think that's something in Mumbai, at least, as people, we all head out, we all socialize, even during COVID times, because when you're at home, you want to eat comfort food. There were people who wanted to eat what they like eating. You can eat everything, but in moderation, because any food, even if it's healthy, you eat out of proportion can become an unhealthy. You know, I would have questions saying that can we have alcohol, or just in general so many questions. Yeah, and people thought that I'm only going to give them fancy foods to eat to be able to lose weight, but the idea is to, like I said, fit it into your daily routine, moderate what you're doing. Same thing, you can't overtrain, you can't not exercise at all. Same way with food, you want to eat as much as your body needs, and that itself is going to help you with the weight loss journey.
Right, right. And also one more thing is, specifically with Krushmi, I was never made to go out of my comfort zone. So that is, I come from a very traditional Gujarati family. I have very Indianized meals at home. You know, getting exotic vegetables was not the right. It was very difficult for me in regular cooking. I would have to cook very separately. So she kind of gave me meals which were fitting into my household meals, so I didn't have to cook separately. She just told me how much to eat and probably smaller changes what I can make within that. So that is something which actually helped me to go through it. Maybe if there was a change, maybe I wouldn't be able to, but this is something which made the process easier. So customized.
Yes, exactly. It has to be personalized.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can get onto the internet, get a meal plan out, and try it out.
True.
But I think personalization has to be done. Also, something that you can follow on a regular basis.
Yeah, something which I can continue even when
Even
I'm
now,
bored,
yeah, because you're just going to now maintain your fitness levels.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, true. Then last question. So as women, obviously we age, we grow. Everyone ages, yeah, of course. But specifically in women, we go through a lot of hormonal changes, and due to that, people do put on weight, and it
Yeah.
does get difficult to maintain a certain weight or to reduce weight after a certain period of time.
Yeah. So hormonal imbalance, more than 43 to 50% women go through it at different phases in their lives, either age dependent, it could be related to other changes that the body goes through. Simple rule again, I think it's got nothing to do with when somebody comes and tells me, you know, I'm putting on weight because I have hormonal imbalance. I think it's the other way around. Hormonal imbalance actually happens because there have been changes in the body, which includes fat increase or weight gain. So it's like a vicious circle, or it's like a catch-22 or a chicken and egg situation. You don't know what's come, correct, which one has come first. So the rules apply the same way. If you have any other medical issue or hormonal imbalance, being consistent, maybe the results will be slightly slower than if you didn't have any of those issues, but you still have to be consistent. It is personalized because everybody has different issues. What are the foods that they should avoid and should eat? That's very important. So we give them a list of do's and don'ts, and still not restricting them of everything, because you want to live a regular life and have to go to work and have a family at home and enjoy yourself. So it still stays the same. So anybody who's suffering from any sort of hormonal imbalance, don't beat yourself down. I think it's just important to get help, follow it, because I can only write a plan. She had to follow it to actually achieve this transformation, and that's the end of it. So we only want you to do things as per what you can, not out of the comfort zone, but also follow it diligently.
Yes, so that's about it. That were all the questions I had for you. So thank you so much for having me talk and ask you questions. I'm pretty sure a lot of you got your questions answered as well. And if you are someone who is thinking of losing weight or is trying to lose weight, please feel free to contact Krushmi. She's the right person to connect with. She will help you and help you get your goals. I was going to say dream body, but let's not do that. Get your goals in place. You will be able to achieve, you will be able to get where you want to be. It's not impossible.
I think this has changed from Candid with Krushmi to Candid with Hensila, but thank you so much. It has been a pleasure. It's really great that somebody can share their insights with us. So many people are so worried, what are people going to think? Thank you so much for putting yourself out there and helping others and encouraging others to do this as well. So thank you for being on board. Thank you for believing in us. And this is not the end. We're going to see you fit and healthy and no going back again. Thank you very much.